I'm thinking about spirituality as the it thing that it is that right now, and how very deeply twisted that can get if you don't have your wits about you and if you don't have a strong sense of discernment. Because of how sensitive the topic of spirituality is, and because of the concepts and understandings that spirituality deals with, everything has a shadow. The shadow side of spirituality could take life from you in a way that can damage you for lifetimes to come because of the substance that it's dealing with, which is your energy and your awareness, which is the most important thing right now. In my opinion, the best way for you to stand tall enough against all the gunk that can appear via social media is to, like I said, sharpen your discernment, and do that by being curious and being a little bit more be curious a little further than yourself, a little further than your comfort zone, and listen out for the answer. Make sure that you're open enough to receive, and believe yourself. Believe in yourself and the thoughts that you receive when you ask questions, and when you're curious, believe in the answers that you get back, and in the symbols and signs that you see life giving you as you ask the question, because life always responds to the questions that you ask. There are certain spiritual leaders of the trendy part of spirituality who are even themselves unaware of the darkness and shadows they carry, which is why shadow work and inner work is so important and such a self-driven mission. It's something that only you as a person can do. You cannot hire or expect someone else to do it for you or on your behalf. It's your work. It's very personal. It's very assigned, and everyone has to do it to be able to represent even a semblance of the truth that spirituality and energy work and all of this stuff actually is. These understandings are also rooted in indigenous systems, meaning all of this information, all of the stuff that we're seeing coming online now about synchronicity, numerology, crystal work, etc., is ancient. They're all rules and concepts that have been thought of over and over and over again in circles for millennia. And what you find with a lot of people in this community is that because the information is so here, ready, available, and can be taken, it's right there. So we can just take it and apply it. And a lot of the time it works because that's how energy works. And that's another conversation for another day. But the point is that if you don't respect the roots of where that information you're applying comes from, don't do that. Rather, reach into your own systems by meditating, honestly, by doing inner work, going inwards, and doing ancestral work if you are someone who's in touch with your bloodline like that. If you're brown, you're in touch. Just light a candle and do some talking to the closest elder that you have. And then the rest will unfold for itself. That elder can be dead or alive. Do your thing. There's also this whole culture of, because everybody wants to be enlightened and awakened, and everybody wants to present like, well, and I don't know if this is what they're doing on purpose, but everybody seems to want to present as perfect and complete in this journey of spirituality, because we all seem to be talking from a place of, if anyone heard people from the spiritual community talk, if anyone heard a chakrahan or etc. talk, you'd think that that person truly embodies the thing that they're talking about. The gag, they don't. I think that the way for you to find the truest kind of spiritual leader in these times is someone who can admit that they're in the battlefield with you, because that's actually what's going on here. When we speak with this energy of authority, we're fetching our wisdom, fine, but ultimately we're still human beings. We're all in this shit together. And anyone giving you information or even selling their services to you under the guise of the fact that they know and their truth is the truth, and for argument's sake, you will not be able to further yourself at all without their services. If anyone who gives that impression, without their services, without their information, you just watch out for them. Just keep your eye out. But again, and I've posted about this on TikTok as well, all of these services and things that people seek healers for, you are totally capable of doing this, of doing that service for yourself. It might take a little longer than like the simple transaction of, hey, can you give me this reading? It might take a little longer. And that's you and your patience. And even that is part of the work, you know? The point is that we are all truly reflective of the divine energy, of the real. Let me not use those words so that I can speak to the left brain too. We are all sources of life. We all originate from and have within us the God particle. If that's the case, and we're all reflective of God's image, etc., etc., why on earth would we be seeking outside of us? The point is to conjure it up within. And that's the other thing about the spiritual work and these spiritual trends, is that the minute it touches the level of trendy, it gets swallowed up into the machine of capitalism and profit and transaction. And this is the one realm where that kind of thing really doesn't need to happen. We don't need to be transactional with each other when it comes to spirituality. Technically, I kind of disagree with healers charging anything, but that's energy exchange, like I get it, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean? This is all accessible information. None of this can be gatekept, and the minute that the minute that it generates that kind of darkness is when, like I said, it gets very dangerous and costs not only your life, but your bloodline, and not just this life, but many. If you know, you know. It sucks you. It drains you dry if you don't even believe in reincarnation. Let's stay in this life. It will drain you dry. Beware. You'll hire services. You'll talk to some spiritual healer. You'll give them more than you need to. And then suddenly after that, you'll find shit starts falling apart. You start to come across really strange luck. Not strange in the good way. And overall, you start to feel drained. You will feel it. You'll know. And that's the other thing. You'll know if you're working on your discernment and your intuition, but you'll know anyway because our bodies are machines and they speak to us all the time. We just need to, listen. It's always there. We just need to listen. And so listen. Listen to yourself. For the love of yourself, listen to yourself and prioritize the sound of yourself before anything else. Before astrology, what you see on the TL, Chani Nichols, the pattern, Mariam Hasnair, all of the possible spiritual beacons, and even astrology. As much as I adore it and believe in the science of it, I don't think a single thing of this reality trumps the source from which we are perceiving this reality. I don't think anything's more important than that source. So that's my contribution, that source within you is important. You don't need any healer as much as you think you do. You are your own best healer. You are the best healer there is for yourself. There's no one better for you than you.